Welcome to another episode of the Wilk Edition. I appreciate you for lending me your ears, giving me your eyes, and taking the time just to click on your boy video. So I really appreciate it. I'm your host, Wilk. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell button so you'll know every time I'm live. Now let's get straight into it because we had a lot to unpack. I've been missing in action for a little bit. My Lakers lost in the playoffs, and I was just out of it. Didn't feel like streaming, didn't feel like podcasting or anything. I had to get recalibrated, and now we back with some good stuff. So I'm gonna start the show off by talking about House of the Dragon. So as you all know, uh, I'm a really big Game of Thrones fan. I like Game of Thrones. I like House of Dragon. I like Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I even went and got the books and I started reading those. Uh, so we're currently in season 3 and we're going to get right into what's going on. So episode 1, just to get you guys caught up, episode 1 started off with the battle of the Gullet. It's it's basically like I said, the war's already started and there's a blockade put in place, and you got the Greens and you got the Blacks, and they're both trying to take over and seize power. So one of the ways to weaken the Greens was to put a blockade in there so they can't get food and stuff in there. That weakens them because that makes the small folk, people, the common people, hungry, starving, angry. They're begging, they're asking, they're doing everything they need to try to get some help, which causes strain on the Greens. So that's what the Blacks did, right? So uh the Greens, to retaliate, they go to the free cities, ask the free cities for help. The Triarchy tries to break the blockade. Boom, we get the Battle of the Gullet. All right, so there's a lot of things in play right here, so you kind of got to stay with me. So, Battle of the Gullet, Greens versus Blacks. The Gullet is literally right on the outside, the outskirts of where Dragonstone is, and that's where the stronghold is for the Blacks. So once they find out that there's a battle going on in the Gullet, the queen automatically was like, "Hey, I'll jump on my dragon. I'll ride in battle. No ifs, ands, no buts about it. I'm gonna do this. I'm the queen. I can do what I want to do." So her son and heir, Jacaerys, he's all against his mom getting into the war. Hey, you're the queen. We're trying to protect you. We have to protect you at all costs. Let us do the work for you. He's so eager to try to prove himself that he's willing to do anything, like go against his mama, right? So he talks to one of the Queen's guards, Sir Laurent. Hey, don't let my mama out of this room, or I'll take your head. He doesn't want to lose his head or have the queen get endangered, so he listened to Jacaerys, and him and Baela Targaryen get on their dragons and they go join the battle of the Gullet. All right. So this is very significant because at that point in time, House Valerian, their navy was under attack. Like, they got ambushed. So technically, I don't want to say they were losing, but it's both sides are taking losses right now. So dragons come in. We got Jace and we got Baela, and they're doing dragon fire and stuff like that. So the Triarchy, they're ready for dragons. They're aware of dragons are in the world. So they have these giant bolts that shoot arrows to try to take out the dragon. So, Jacaerys get hits with one of them and it has like a weight on the bottom of it. So it's like weighing him down. He's trying to fight back and, trying to stay above water. Baylor comes in, snips it. He's back in attack mode, right? All right. So just give you a little background run on it. So Baela Targaryen is the daughter of Lena Velaryon and Daemon Targaryen. So then they have two girls. They have Baela and they have Rhaena. So Rhaena comes into play because she doesn't have a dragon at this point in time until she goes to the Vale where she was supposed to be with the other Velaryon boys, and she comes across a wild dragon. All right, so Raina's whole thing is, hey, I want to be a dragon rider. I want to be wanted. I want to be used. I want, my father to love me and talk to me. And, maybe if I'm a dragon rider, he'll do that. All right. Or, the queen said, hey, Bayla, go do this because she has a dragon. Hey, Raina, you go watch the kids. She doesn't really like that because, in her head, she's fire and blood. I want to be out here helping my family. So she runs into this wild dragon out in the Vale called Sheep Stealer. All right, so Sheep Stealer is a wild dragon. He doesn't have any custom name and raising them and stuff like that. So he's just wild, killing all the whatever he can find to eat. This and the third, like, burning stuff. And Raina, of all people, was able to claim this dragon. All right, so this is real significant because that adds another dragon to the Team Black. All right, so in her head, she like, yes, I have a dragon. I'm ready to go. We need to go to Dragonstone so we can go uh help my family out. But she starts to realize that this dragon is wild. So he listens, but then he don't listen, especially when he's in an environment he's never been in before. He never been around other dragons. He never been fired at, shot at, and rocks thrown at him and arrows and all this other kind of stuff. So she gets on her dragon, rides him to Dragonstone, and as she's on the way to Dragonstone, she sees the Battle of the Gullet happening in real time. So she like, hey, let's go help. So as she rides in the battle, and she says their famous word to make the dragon blow out their fire, she said Dracarys, and they're into the battle. But like I said, Sheep Stealer has never been in this type of environment before. So he starts blowing fire at everybody, the good and the bad side. So she's trying to stop him from doing that. He's getting attacked, and then the other dragons, Vermax, which is Jaceres's dragon, and Moondancer, which is Bayla's dragon, they see another dragon, so they're thinking, oh, he's attacking our man. He's on the other side. So they go in to attack the dragon and realize it's Raina, a family member, a cousin, the sister. So they evade. And while evading, Raina's trying her best to get her dragon to listen. Hey, listen to me, obey me, obey me. Dragon not having it. He blowing fire at everybody. You know what I'm saying? While also trying to protect her and protect himself. So while all of this is going on, mind you, the queen is back trying to break down the door because she wanted to be in the battle. She's locked in her door, so there's nothing she can do to help. All right. So once they realize it's Raina, they both evade, and while Jaceres was evading, his dragon was hit. All right. So his dragon was hit again, and he was unable to get his dragon free from that boat because the other they were trying to help, but there's another dragon flying in, so she wasn't even able to come and help. His dragon drowns, and he uh, disengages from his saddle, and he's swimming, and Jaceres Valerian is killed at the Battle of the Gullet. All right, so this is real, real significant, real sad because it's his mother, then it's him next in line. So now the whole line is kind of messed up because now when Jaceres leaves, now his brother Joffrey Valerian, which is one of his younger brothers, he's now the heir. Mind you, he's still a little kid. He doesn't even know what's going on, other than I ain't with my parents right now. All right, so real sad. That's how the end of the first episode ended. It was a real sad. Both sides took heavy losses. The Trarchy was defeated. The Sea Snake got injured. Adam got it. It was just a whole lot to unpack, but that was basically the gist of episode 1. We go to episode 2, and episode 2 starts off just sad, distraught. The queen sees her son. They bring her body of her son to her. She sees that he's not breathing, he's not talking. She's trying to physically talk to him, get him to answer. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to me? So she just blacks out. she's fussing at everyone because basically they knew his intent. They knew he probably wasn't thinking right, but even though he was trying to do what was best for his mom, the queen, it just messed up everything. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I don't trust none of y'all because y'all let him do that knowing what his intent was. All right. So, but at this point in time, she did win the victory. So they're kind of gaining power on the greens. All right. So let's fast forward. Let's go talk about the greens. The greens are Aegon, which is Queen Rhaenyra's little brother. You have Aemon Targaryen, which is another little brother. You have Helena Targaryen, which is her little sister. You know what I'm saying? So they're all related. You have the Queen Dowager, Alicent Hightower. She's there, aiding her sons and daughters and stuff. But Alicent sees everything happening. She like, hey, there's too much war, too much killing, it's too much going on. Is there another way that we can end this? So she sneaks to Dragonstone, makes a pact with Rhaenyra. Hey, I'll let you in the gates. We'll lay down our arms. You can take the city. I'll have Aemon fly away on Vhagar. Make it easy as possible for you to sack the city. So Rhaenyra sees this opportunity. Hey, let me get in here and let me go ahead and take the city. So that's the plan. So they're like planning for that. Like I said, Alicent doing whatever she got to do to get everybody to leave who's supposed to leave. Hey, this is what's gonna happen. This is what you need to do. All right. So we get to a point where, hey, Rhaenyra like, hey, we need to do this. Yeah, I'm upset. I'm crying. I'm grieving. But as the queen, you don't have time to grieve. She wants to grieve. She wants to sit in her room, cry in her pillow, and she can't because she has a throne that she's trying to win. All right. So they get all the dragon seeds. We have Off the White. We have Hugh Hammer, who rides Vermithor. Off rides Silverwing. And we have Alan, who rides Sea Smoke. All right. So they get all the dragons and they take off the Dragonstone. All right. So it's a great scene, just straight cinema. You got all your dragons flying in formation. They take the city. They walk in. Uh, it's a point where Damon, goes into battle and he like it's 1-on-8, beats everybody. Him and Rhaenyra walk into the throne room where they're greeted by the Greens King guards. All right, the King's Guard. So you know they're at like a standstill. It's like 12 of them. It's just Rhaenyra, Daemon, and then the Gold Cloaks were one of the people that Alicent had talked to. They all come in. Hey, they remember Daemon is their Lord Commander of the King's Guard. And they call it the Gold Cloaks. All right, so they come in, boom, reaffirm their position, and back up Damon and Rhaenyra. They take care of the guards. The ones that weren't loyal, they were like jailed and executed. And now she's looking for Aegon. All right, so at this point in time, they don't know that Aegon has left the throne. All right, nobody knows where he is. Him and Lara Strong took off uh gold and stuff, and nobody knows what's going on. Aemon is flew to Harrenhal, so he's out the picture. Perfect time to take the city. All right. So basically, they took the city. They're looking for Aegon. They go look in the cell, the black cells, and they don't find Aegon. But they do find something just as valuable. A gift from Lara Strong as it was presented, and they find Otto Hightower. Who is Otto Hightower? Otto Hightower is the former hand of the King Viserys, which is Queen Rhaenyra's dad. So Otto Hightower been around the whole time. He's like the grandfather because he's Alicent's dad. So he's the grandfather for the kids on the green side, and he knows firsthand that Rhaenyra was supposed to be the heir to the throne. But in his mind, he didn't want her to be the heir to the throne because she was a woman, and following with customs, usually the male heirs take the throne. All right, so he was against her taking the throne. Once the king died, he was like, "Hey, nah, it's gonna be my grandson Aegon. He's supposed to be the king. He's the next male heir." He's the first male heir to the king. So they anoint him, crown him in front of everybody, like the whole shebang, whole ceremony. All right. So you can see why Rhaenyra and Daemon don't like him at all. They never liked him really because of what he stood for, and they felt like he was sneaky and trying to do things to keep himself in power, keep himself relevant, and that's what he did. So when they bring him out of the black cells, it's like, oh, perfect opportunity. You gonna pay for what you did. All right. So they take his head. All right. They take his head and they take the Master Coin's head. All right. Heads are gone. Then they bring in Allison and Helena. They see Otto's head on the ground, blood. They look up, see Rhaenyra on the throne. All right. Boom. That's the end of episode 2. So now we get into episode 3. Episode 3 is a little bit different, but it's more focused on what's going on in King's Landing. So episode 3 starts off with Rhaenyra. She's the queen. Now she's seeing queen slash king duties. You know what I'm saying? You got politics, you got wars still going on. You're still trying to find Aegon. You got to get ceremonies put together, but you can't because he done been anointed. Um, there's rats everywhere because Aegon hung all the rat catchers. You have the common people, they call them small folk, but the common people hungry, dirty, they have needs, and they're asking the queen, hey, help us, we have no food, we're hungry, we're starving, our kids have nothing to eat, or we don't have anything to work, we don't have any money. They're asking things of the crown. So she's like trying to handle everything, and then come to find out they cleaned out the treasury, so the crown is broke. So you don't even have money to go buy anything. So she's trying to figure out how to be a queen the right way. And she wants to do it the right way. She doesn't want to just rule with fire and blood, which, in my opinion, that's what she should do. She's trying to, oh, what would my father do? You're not your father. You need to be yourself, but you're trying to be your father. And, not saying that it's a bad thing, but sometimes you have to sprinkle in your own little stuff sometimes. So now she's seeing how hard it is actually being king or queen. Like it ain't just your needs. You got to worry about everybody else's needs and everybody asking you because you the one that's in power. All right, so she's trying to figure all that out. She found out that the nobles have been taking all the food and buying up all the food. So no one, even if you had money, you can't go buy no food because there ain't no food. So she holds a banquet, with all the nobles and it's candles, and it looks real nice. And they thinking like, oh yeah, this is something good. The queen is, eating with us and stuff. She brings everybody fried rats because it's like, hey, you this is the food y'all gonna have to eat because y'all taking up all the food from the small folk and then can't nobody eat. So then, she was already able to, get food from them, from their storehouses, and pass out food. All right. She passed out food, so she just looks like a hero in front of the people. Now she got the nobles hating her, the upper class people, because she decided to help out the small folk. All right. It's just a lot of things going on. Then they try to do a prisoner exchange with her younger brother Darren Targaryen, and they meet with the High Tower host, or Ormond Hightower, and they realize that they have an army, but they realize they have to be a little tricky. So they send out a fake Darren. Nobody knows what he looked like other than people who know him. And we saw a glimpse of him in the second episode, and he has red hair. So I knew he had red hair, but when I saw the guy with white hair, I said, I don't know. But Damon and them didn't realize that they was an imposter until Allison was like, "Hey, I want to see my son." Once they let her know that they had him, she goes to meet the son. She does not recognize who this guy is. Hey, this ain't my son. So once they realize that the Greens, or well, the Hightower host tricked them, so they're livid. They're trying to see what's going on. Now, in the midst of all of this, we have Corlys Velaryon, the Sneak Snake. All right, he's recovered. They got him. They having dinner, and he has his sons that he had not of noble birth. He has some bastards, and he has Alan and Adam. All right. So he like, hey, my son's been doing you justice, doing this, doing that. Hey, can you they get the name Valarian? And she doesn't. She knights them, but doesn't legitimize them to give them that name because she doesn't want to look like, hey, I'm just raising bastards up and giving them dragons and giving them names and stuff like that. She don't want to look bad, but by doing that, you kind of piss off someone who's been helping you. So she's kind of in a little conundrum right now. She's trying to figure out how to please everybody, but you have to realize you can't please everybody. All right, so she's trying to figure out how to take control of King's Landing and the everyday duties. She got to find goals. She got to find allies. She got to eliminate challenges to her name. She got to find Aegon. She got to find Darren. So it's a lot going on right now. I'm really excited about where House of the Dragon is right now. It's only episode 3 of season 3. I believe it's 8 episodes, so we got 5 episodes left, and then a final season of season 4 to come after that. So I'm excited. Um, I tell you, my favorite episodes definitely by far have been 1 and 2. Uh, there's more battles, there's more dragons, there's more plots, there's more tragedy, there's more happiness, more sadness. It's everything all in one. All right. So if you're not a fan of House of the Dragon, if I were you, I would go watch them. I would go watch Game of Thrones. I would go start watch House and Dragon. I'll watch 97 Kingdoms. You want to go read a book? Go read the books. If you like stuff like this, it has a bunch of things all in one. So that's why I would start if I were you. And then we're gonna move on to our next segment. All right. So moving right along, uh, let's talk about my Lakers. All right. This is the Lakers postseason post LeBron. All right. So just to give you a rundown, we had a pretty good season. We ended up in the 4th seed. Just unfortunate Luca and Austin got hurt. LeBron had to put on his cape and be the one. We were able to beat Houston and beat Houston in the playoffs, and then we lost to OKC 4-0. All right. Uh, like I said, we were very undermanned. Like I said, I'm not making no excuses. We have NBA players. They have NBA players. They just had better players. You see what I'm saying? Even though our Lakers, or my Lakers, to our Lakers, my Lakers I feel like we outplayed their starters. Our bigs did not outplay their bigs, and then their bench outplayed our bench. All right, there, we just we were very very undermanned. Our top 2 scorers were not there. Nobody's going to win when their top 2 scorers are just not in the game. That even if we got LeBron James, now granted, this is a 41-year-old LeBron James. That's why I be wanting people to. You got to think about that. He's 41 years old, being asked to do things as if he was 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. It's just not realistic. Bron played well, but then you had to have everybody else play well as well. Like we had to play perfect games. We just didn't have enough, which is fine. Cool. All right, boom. Let's go to the off season. All right. As you know, the Knicks beat the Spurs in the NBA Finals. Spurs real young team, up and coming, but they're still a really good team. The Knicks were hot. Hit shots, played really good defense. Jalen Brunson was, he played phenomenal. Cat played good. OG got some good tips. It was just an overall good series. The better team won. The better team, the more mature, the more experienced team won because the Spurs, this was their first go at it. All right, with Wemby leading the way. So off season is here. So many questions. Is LeBron coming back? Is this coming back? Is this coming back? Is this coming back? So Luca said, "Hey, I need me a plus center. I need somebody who's gonna play with effort, play big, dunk, block, rim run, everything that DeAndre Ayton was not. DeAndre Ayton was a disappointment. Straight up. To say he was a number 1 overall pick, it's time for him to go. All right, so we got rid of we basically had to clean house for the most part. We didn't have to. We tried to bring LeBron back. LeBron let the Lakers know that he was not returning. All right, boom. So that opened up some cap space. We were able to sign Austin back. Cause if he would have hit the market, he would have been gone. All right, so we was able to lock up Austin. That's our second scorer. Luka's healthy now. Austin's healthy. Got a new contract. The Lakers lost some pieces. Okay, we lost Marcus Smart. He declined his player option, and ended up signing a 2-year deal with the Houston Rockets. We traded DeAndre Ayton for uh some picks, and I think his name is Hardy. Yeah, he used to play with Luca in Dallas, so we lost him. We drafted Cameron Carr. Hopefully, I've seen some of the summer league games. Hopefully, this kid is everything that he's displaying. Now, it's summer league, so I don't get too caught up in the scoring. Can you defend? Because we need wing defenders, and if we can get you to be a really good wing defender for cheap, and then you get your contract and money later on down the line, that'd be perfect. We need to make sure we utilize him. We need to utilize Dog Connect. We still got Bronny in them. We got to develop these guys to be better defenders. All right, we need defenders and we need shooting, and we need our bigs to play. All right, the Lakers did go out and get Walker Kessler. He was one of the top centers that were in free agency this year. Uh, we also added Sandro Mamu, Quentin Grimes, and Colin Sexton. All right, nice. You know, the Lakers went a little younger. All right, we got younger. We got some more grit. We got people who want to play. That's what we need. Now we still got holes. So we didn't bring Rui back. Rui just signed with the Clippers, so that sucks. So could have kept him, but that would have been cool. Now we have to fill out this roster with wings, defenders, uh, someone who can kind of give us something and when we need it. All right, because the league now you got to be able to score and you got to be able to play defense. So going to getting Kessler and Sandro, that'll really help us. Like I said, I think we're still working. We might be able to get someone else. Maybe we can get Jalen Duran. He hasn't signed yet. So if we can get him, that'd be perfect. All right. I'm gonna throw this little nugget out there, and it's a slim chance. I know LeBron said he don't want to come back, but he just might. He's unpredictable right now, so you don't know. People saying Cleveland, people saying Golden State. I don't think those are better situations than LA. I'm just keeping it real. Other than OKC and the Spurs or the Knicks, we it's a better situation if he were to stay in LA. His family there, his son's still on the team. So that's just something to keep an eye out on, all right? I'm keeping my eyes open as well. But the Lakers did address some size, some needs. We still had got some needs to go, and then we got to just put it all together, develop our young players, and we'll be able to make some moves for sure. Like I said, I hated losing LeBron, but we were able to get Walker Kessler. We were able to get some better role players than what we had. We lost Jackson Hayes. Our starting five from the playoffs when we played Houston, nobody's there. We lost Luke Kennard to Phoenix. Rui to the Clippers. DeAndre Ayton is in Washington. Marcus Smart left, and then we don't know where LeBron's gonna go. Everybody else is hurt or just too young. So, like I said, we got Kessler locked up. We got Austin locked up with a 4-year deal, 185 million max deal, well deserved. I'm gonna need you to play some fucking defense now. You got your money. Get in the lab on defense. We know you can score. I don't need you to be no lockdown defensive player of the year. I just need you to. It can't be that easy to score. All right, and to kind of battle that, your offense has to be your defense. Hey, if they gonna attack you when they got the ball, that's what you need to be doing to them. Getting them tired so they ain't playing defense too much because they got to guard you. So I'm eager to see what my Lakers going to look like. This has been a phenomenal run from LeBron. I appreciate LeBron coming to my Lakers because we definitely was going through some tough times before Bron got there. And I'm a Lakers fan. I'm not following LeBron or nothing like that. I mean, he's still a really good player. I like LeBron, but I'm a Lakers fan at the end of the day. So what LeBron did for LA, I really appreciate it. We got us a championship. I don't care about them saying no bubble, no asterisk. They played basketball against everybody else that was in there and they lost and we won. All right. Under those circumstances, no fans, no crowd to cheer you on, no nothing. Everybody wearing masks, social distancing. It was a mess in 2020. We had just lost Kobe that year. It was a lot going on. We won us a championship. You know, I appreciate AD for his services. We got Luca now. All right. So going forward, the future is to build around Luca what Luca needs. Luca gotta make sure he doing his part too. He got to make sure he's staying in shape, staying durable. We cannot be losing Luca after a season. He just led the league in scoring. You know, got some. You know, was an MVP runners. You know, had us a top 3 seed, top 4 seed, and then he gets hurt. We got to make sure he's durable, and by doing that, it's make sure we're finishing out this roster, getting good quality pieces in so Luka ain't got to be doing 35, 40 minutes a night. If we can keep him around 30, 35 minutes or something like he's young, 30, 35 minutes, I think we should be good on going forward. Now, not saying that we're a championship team now, because we're not, but we're building towards that. We've been a top 3, 4 seed the last couple seasons. We still got JJ. Like I said, we got to see how we develop these players, get our chemistry going, get it with defense going. And I hear all the jokes, people saying, "Oh, Lakers can't win with 5 white guys and all that." I don't care about none of that. I don't care if they blue, black, and brown. You can play basketball. Let's go play basketball and let's go win. You in the purple and gold now. It's championships or not. All right, you gonna get the same criticism that everybody else got. When Kobe and them was losing, we was getting on their ass too. We gonna get on y'all ass now. Lock in, get in the lab, play some defense, let's score. Let's build on top of what we got going on with our free agents, and we'll see where that takes us. All right, so that'll be it for my Lakers segment. So moving on. All right, moving right along. Let's touch on my Chargers. This offseason news. Like I said, we had a pretty good season last season. Injuries destroyed our season. Herbert was running for his life for the most part. The whole season, receivers dropping balls, the running back got hurt. We still able to put together a decent season. Got to the playoffs, just flamed out. Our offensive line couldn't do anything. We definitely could have won our games. Like I said, in the NFL, most of the time, the most healthy team, the team that's the hottest, they the team that win. Chargers haven't been healthy the past 2 seasons, especially our offensive line. We drafted Joe Alt last season. He was a phenomenal right tackle to go along with Rashawn Slater. Then when Rashawn Slater went down, Alt had to move over, and then eventually he ended up breaking down, hurting his ankle. I want to say, to me, he came back too early. He came back way, way too early on that ankle, injured it some more. He was out for the rest of the season. They bet off having me block for him. Like, we had no one to block and protect Herbert. So we made some changes, drafted some players. Was in free agency. We brought back Denzel Perryman. We got Dalvin Tomlinson. Khalil Mack came back, so that's big for our defense. Because our defense played well enough in the playoffs to win a game. But the offense has to help the defense out. We can't just, it's not like back in the day. You got to be able to score something, and we weren't able to score anything. So we was able to shore up our offensive line, bring back some defensive players. We drafted a defensive lineman out of Miami. So I'm really excited to see how the defense is going to look. I'm really excited to see how our offense is going to look. We added David Njoku from the Cleveland Browns. He's a really good playmaker, tight end. And we haven't had a really good tight end since Henry and basically Antonio Gates, because Henry was only here for a little bit. So we need them. We need our weapons healthy, and we need our offensive line healthy. God damn, who's the strength and conditioning coach over there? Like, every year somebody's hurt. I just don't understand. So if we can get that up and sure up, we got to just stay healthy. We can stay healthy. We got rid of our offensive coordinator, and we went and got Mike McDaniels. He used to be the head coach for the Miami Dolphins. I think he's going to add some flair. I've seen some of the things he's done with Herbert, like changing his stance and trying to get the ball out quicker. Yeah, Herbert can make those big plays when we need them, but we don't need a hero ball all the time. Sometimes we need you to get up there, read the line, see what they gonna do, see what they gonna give you, and let's use our quarterback talent. All right. So use our quarterback talent a lot better. Like I said, I like the pieces that we added, some pieces we added back. Um, we still got Jim Harbaugh as the head coach. I like how he coaches. He likes to run the ball and stuff. Like I said, Greg Roman just wasn't it. Uh, I think Mike McDaniel is going to open up our offense a lot more, have a better run game. Amari Hampton's coming back from injury. Like I said, our offensive line is healthy. So if we can stay healthy, the Chargers should be pretty decent. We have training camp coming up, and the way our schedule's looking, it should be a pretty fairly, I don't want to say easy schedule because it's the NFL, so nothing's easy. But week 1 we have the Cardinals, week 2 Raiders, week 3 the Bills, week 4 Seattle. So that's gonna be, the defending champs. So that's gonna be a good one. Broncos, Chiefs, and then week 7 is our bye week. All right. So as the makeup of the team is right now, I like it. We just got to be healthy. I got to see how healthy we can stay. How Herbert's health. How everybody click into a new offense. You got new offense, new cadence, new timing. So if we can get that done, I'm a firm believer in my Chargers. You know, we got to see how Patrick Mahomes look coming off his injury. Bo Nix coming off his injury. No one cares about the Raiders. I know they had the number one. No one cares about the Raiders. So as it's looking, the Chargers are in the front seat. They the ones driving. They got to be the one to get it going. So we're gonna see how these offseason acquisitions work for us, and we'll see how the Chargers look at the beginning of the season. So I will definitely be keeping you on any updates or any changes in our offseason. We have some preseason coming up at the beginning of August. So training camp starts July 29th, and let's see how what my Chargers can do this season, man. All right, and my last and final topic of the day is Team USA versus Belgium tonight in the FIFA World Cup tournament. All right, so this is a real pressure game for Team USA. They are favored to beat Belgium. Like I said, it's the World Cup round of 16, so there's no more group play. One bad stretch and you're going home. All right, the kickoff is at 5 p.m. Arizona time, and it's in Seattle. All right. So Team USA has everything. They got the red card rescinded for their best player. Yep, got it rescinded. So he's good to go and he's good to play tonight. Uh, you know, these games can go either way. Uh, we definitely should be able to get past the round of 16. I don't believe we ever got past the round of 16. So I'm gonna definitely be trying to be tuned in so I can, like I said, I'm still trying to learn the game of football. In America, we call it soccer, but football is more global, and it's a lot at stake right now. No one wants to lose on their home field. All right, so I'm gonna have a reaction for after this game. Like I said, team is United States versus Belgium. Uh, you know, trying to get these names and stuff down is a little hard, but Boglagun is the guy that had the red card for USA, and FIFA they basically rescinded it. They deal with it later. That's what it sounded like to me. But once we have our best player back, we're at full strength, healthy. Team USA's been playing really well. So we're going to see how the Americans how they play against Belgium, and we can find out if this is real Team USA or this the same old story with Team USA. All right, so it's a really big match. Can't lose on home turf. We got to win, and if they win, they're getting closer and closer to winning the World Cup on American soil. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the Wilk Edition. I really appreciate you guys listening to what I have to say. Lending me your ears. Use your word of mouth to tell somebody else about the show. Maybe they'll like to tune in as well. Let me know down in the comments what you think. What you think I should talk about. How do you feel about some of the things I talked about? And like I said, I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button so you know every time I'm going live. Anytime I'm uploading videos, I do shorts, I got TikToks and all. So, like I said, I really greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you the next episode.